All right, so Sky. So I don't know if any of you anticipated this, but there was a law of cosines. So you bet there's a law of sines. Yeah. Now the good news is for you, uh, no. Um, yeah, are you going to let me just kind of do my thing here, or are we going to play 20 questions? Or okay. Uh, so first question was, is it the same? No. Your next question was, is it similar? No. Give me. You have any more questions about the law of sines?
Are you too?
No. Will? No. Yes.
Hi, YouTube.
What? No. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. All right. So here's what's going on with the law of sines. It is three ratios that are all equal to each other. And you don't have to use all three of them. And you don't have to, you can flip the whole thing upside down if you want, but it is just this thing right here. A side divided by the sine of the angle opposite that is going to be equal to the other side divided by the sine of the angle opposite of that, which is also equal to the other side divided by the sine of the angle opposite of that. So I feel like this is easier than the law of cosines. It's just a simple proportion that you have to do to solve these. There's no squareds going on. There's no plus or minus stuff. It's just cross, multiply, and then divide. What's that? This is the law of sines. Yes. What's the law of cosines? The law of cosines is this. And you can switch those letters around, Janessa, if you want to, but these two and these two will always be the same, and this side and this angle will always be the same. Okay? So you can make it d squared equals a squared plus c, blah, 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 just depending on what you need. Okay? Will? The fractions above are the law of sines, the same thing, but just flipped over, and that will work also. Okay? It doesn't matter if the side is on top or if the angle is on top. If you flip over both fractions, it's still the same. Okay? I don't know why they ended, usually, to be honest, I see it the other way on top. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here we go. In triangle ABC, so let's go ahead and draw ourselves that triangle. Remember, none of my triangles are ever drawn to scale. It says B is 64 degrees, C is 38 degrees, and side B, which we know is across from this, is 9. Find the length of sides A and side C. Okay? So you could not use the law of cosines in this case. Why? Because we only have one side. Well played, Olivia. We could definitely find out the other angle. That's a good point because we know that the angles in a triangle always add up to 180. So what would that other angle be? 102, 78. Okay, so we know that side is going to be 78, and thank you for figuring that out because we are going to need that. Okay, so would you like to find side A or side C first? A. All right, so the law of sine says if you take the side divided by the sine of the angle opposite that, it equals the sine of 78 because those two things are across from each other. So notice that we did need to find that 78-degree angle in order to do this. Then that would equal, what is a side and an angle across from it that we know? I don't know, but you just said C and 38. I need two numbers. Yeah, 9 and 64, so that's equal to 9 because I can only have one variable in there for me to be able to solve it. Okay? So yeah, a divided by the sine of 78 equals 9 divided by the sine of 64. You just cross multiply and divide, okay? So that means that a is going to be equal 9 times the sine of 78 degrees divided by the sine of 64 degrees. Okay? And then that's just calculator work. When you do this on your calculator, two things. Make sure you are in degrees. And then the other thing is you're going to need to close, your parentheses here. As soon as you type in sine, it's going to throw a parentheses up there. If you don't close that after you type in 78, then you are not going to get the right answer. So, so you just go 9 sine 78, close parentheses, divided by sine 64. 9.79. Okay, what is a way that we can check sort of if that seems like it might be right? Okay. We could, but there's a much easier way. Well, we could. Okay, what's an easy, just a quick little geometry gut check. Which is the biggest angle in this triangle? 78. Where will the biggest side be? Across from that, yeah. So you want this one to be bigger than that one, okay? And it is. Just slightly, but that angle isn't that much bigger than that one, so that. What's that? Yeah, that's A. What'd you say? Yep, and then. Because this. Yep. Okay, so now we're going to go C over the sine of 38 is equal to, now we can use either one. I would suggest always going back to the original one that they gave you, yeah. So 9 over the sine of 64. So this time C is going to equal, if I cross multiply, it's 9 times the sine of 38 divided by the sine of 64. And this time we would like that answer to be smaller than all of those. 6.16. And our units here are feet. Gotta close your paren. What? No. Almost. There's only one more slide. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is a good chapter. What's that? Well, I got one more. Okay, good. One more thing. Okay. One more. This time it says in triangle ABC, we know that A is 8. You know that B is 64 and C is 38. Okay? And now we're trying to find the lengths of sides B and C. Is it the same one? Same angles, but the sides are different? Okay. What? Okay, so what's the missing angle? 78 again. Okay, so what do you want to do? Sine of 78. I did B. I did B. Oh, I thought it said B. All right, what do you get for this? Just a minute. No, they're not. We didn't do anything wrong. Yep. Nope, we didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, so that time it comes out to be 7.35. And then if I go back to the original one, if I go 8 over the sine of 78, now I'm going to try and find side C, so that's C over the sine of 38 degrees. So that means C is equal to 8 sine of 38 divided by 78. So you guys tried to trick me there into thinking that I was doing something wrong, but let's remember that just because the angles are all the same doesn't mean the sides are all the same. You can stretch it or shrink it. If angles are the same, the triangles are similar triangles, but they're not necessarily congruent.
Okay, the sign is.
Yeah.
But
C is what? 5.04, yeah. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, gold star for Taylor. Yep. 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 Okay. Yeah, but don't try and trick me and say, "Oh, I did most of them, so
hey,
I get
that's
a
bad
point."
luck to do a quiz before a meet. It's bad luck. I gotta go against Elma. Come on. Gotta do it.
Stop it.